Emily Cocea, a 22-year-old first-year law student at the University of Michigan, has become one of the most talked-about young women in the U.S. after announcing that she earns roughly $1.3 million a year from adult video manufacturing. Known online by her nickname hotblockchain, she recently talked up to People magazine about how she balances her law studies with her extremely profitable online identity and the one personal limit she refuses to cross. She never shares naked content. Originally from Los Angeles, Emily always dreamed of being a lawyer. However, her life changed radically when her father died suddenly when she was 15. The loss pushed her family into considerable financial problems, and she recognized early on that if she wanted to pursue law school, she would have to support herself. Her part-time job at McDonald's wasn't quite enough, so she began exploring for additional ways to earn. Around that time, TikTok was starting to expand, and Emily realized its potential as a platform for building a following and eventually turning it into cash. Still in high school, she made 4 distinct TikTok profiles to determine which version of her personality would best attract viewers. She meticulously analyzed the algorithm and targeted a certain demographic, men between 18 and 24, especially those working in tech. They tend to have liquidity, she noted, indicating they had discretionary dollars to spend on her content. By the time she turned 18, she created a defined character, the educated, ambitious schoolgirl who was both relatable and sexually confident. She termed this persona hot blockchain. When she began monetizing her platform, the income soon skyrocketed. Within her first year, she made roughly $250,000. In the years that followed, that figure soared into the millions annually. But her achievement didn't come without a hard work ethic. After attending lectures at Carnegie Mellon University, where she obtained her bachelor's degree, she would return to her room and stream live for hours on Twitch. Her admirers regularly saw her studying, re-explaining lessons, and conversing in real time. Emily's approach was purposeful. "I knew I wasn't the prettiest girl in the world," she added, "but I could be the girl who sells exclusive content and is in school." People loved watching me genuinely study. Her feeds lasted roughly 5 hours a day, and she often spent 2 additional hours responding directly to those who paid for private messages. "I sell relationships first," she continued, "and pictures second." While she is open about practically everything in her life, Emily maintains one strict boundary. She does not upload nude images or hardcore pornography. She prefers to keep her content lewd, typically appearing in bikinis or lingerie, focusing instead on emotional connection and communication with her admirers. Balancing academics and her rising online celebrity wasn't easy. During her sophomore year at Carnegie Mellon, she even had to cease streaming while taking a famously difficult math course. In the beginning, several classmates derided her side work, but that quickly evolved into intrigue, especially when they heard how much money she was making. Eventually, many of her classmates began to recognize her financial acumen, and some even cooperated with her to exploit her enormous internet following for research initiatives. After graduating, Emily concentrated on her next ambition, law school. She achieved a 172 on the LSAT, landing in the top 1% of test takers. While writing her application essays, she initially tried to avoid mentioning her online persona, but a close friend pushed her to embrace it as part of who she was. In her final essay to the University of Michigan, she reflected on the privilege that came with her 7-figure income and her resolve to utilize her law degree to help others, especially those who can't afford legal representation. Emily's interest is not for corporate law, but for public defense. "Why would I want to be at a mansion party in Malibu," she replied, "when I could be helping people who really need me?" When she received her acceptance letter and a substantial scholarship from Michigan, she fell into tears. The situation, she recalled, was poetic. She was on the phone with another woman in the adult industry who thought her online work may hinder her from getting into graduate school. Emily's acceptance proved otherwise. Now residing in the university's famous lawyers' club apartment, Emily is excelling in her first semester. She sees her classes as demanding but gratifying, surrounded by brilliant and kind peers who are appreciative of her history. While she sometimes feels like an enigma on school, she says most people treat her politely, and some even approach her with ideas for new TikTok trends. Looking ahead, Emily intends to start her career as a public defender, assisting marginalized people navigate the court system. Later, she aspires to get into academia as an assistant professor and continue teaching, something she has always enjoyed, even when reteaching her college lectures to her Twitch fans. She also hopes to conduct pro bono legal work for women in the adult entertainment sector, helping them fight harassment or erase leaked content online. It's as simple as sending a cease and desist letter, she continued, and I'd have no problem putting my name on it. For Emily, her tale is proof that working in adult entertainment doesn't have to limit one's scholastic or professional achievement. This is not a barrier, she insisted. If you want something enough and you're smart enough, that comes through in your work. I know so many ladies who say they can't go back to school after doing this, but you always can. Her trajectory, from losing her father at 15 to developing a multi-million-dollar business to joining one of the nation's top law schools, defies traditional beliefs about what a professional career should look like. Emily Cocea's message is simple. Intelligence, ambition, and compassion count more than stigma. And as she sees it, she's just getting started.